That's big business. Hit town, but that's big pimpin'. My potential, that's infinite. Pin game insane. Make hits like King Griffin, a 10th inning.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 48, right? 48.
Sean, we were so good so many weeks in a row, pal.
49.
47, I think.
I thought 47 was last week.
Am I off?
50.
Am I off? Guys, it's between 46 and 49. That's all we can tell you. That's all we can tell you.
We'll get the answer for you eventually.
You know us. We are. That's right, Sean. I'm sorry.
We tell the truth. I'm Sean. He's Dan. Now, Dan, there's a third box in the screen here. You want to give us an introduction?
Yeah.
Yeah. Been an MLB fan for, as long as I can remember. 3-ish months ago. Started betting on it competitively. I think I'm doing pretty well. I'm Justin, for those who don't know. You could call me the King. And, I'm really excited to be on.
Guys, first off, that was not do enough of an introduction. We are talking to not only one of the greatest spectacular members of all time, the host of his own podcast, 6S, which is the most popular podcast in all of the Christmas Spectacular. Former first-round overall pick, Justin Smith, multiple time. So this is a big deal in the community for sure. And my item today, of course, is a little Christmas hat, as it is the Christmas season. Christmas started September 1st. So Merry Christmas to everyone. This is the Christmas episode. Not only that, but Shawnee, I guess it'll be next episode. I'll wait for next episode, right? But we got a little birthday coming up soon. So get ready for that. Next step will be Sean's birthday episode. He'll be turning 23 years old. Almost there, Sean.
Jordan year, baby.
That's right. Well, let's crack it open. Give us the news of the week here.
I got some news this week, but I also have some questions I want to pose to you guys.
Woo!
Do you guys think?
Nope, I don't.
No, I don't either.
I thought I always know what the first question is. You know what I'm saying, Justin? You don't either. You don't either.
No,
baby.
never.
That's right.
Do you think that Aaron Judge will tie or break Roger Maris's American League record, home run record?
I think he falls one short. I think that would be very Yankees.
Yeah, true.
I think he does. I agree with Justin. That would be very. That's what I want to say, but he hasn't slowed down at all. Like he's picking it up. Like usually when you get to this deep into the season, we saw it with like Joey Bats and like Stanton and like anyone who gets like this far, it's like eventually like it's unsustainable the pace at which they're going. He's like picking it up at the end of the year, which is amazing, especially for someone who's fucking 6'7", 250, 260. That's like a lot to go out. I know if I played baseball 7 days in a row, my body would be in shambles. I wouldn't be able to move. So for him to be able to do this and like playing every day and still be able to, because you lose a lot of strength over the season because you're not working out because you're playing every day. So it's pretty impressive. But I think he does it. Sean.
I think he does too. I really do. I mean, he's essentially the entire Yankee offense. I think he does it.
He single-handedly kicked me out of the playoffs, which we'll talk about a little bit later with the background today. Him and Zach Allen were on Leafs Fantrax team, and that's it for the Red Hots this year. No trophy.
I do have to mention, is it possible I could get into that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We should have 2 spots coming up. Probably might do an expansion. So you're definitely on the list for sure.
Love to be in there.
That'd be great. Could use the extra juices you'd bring to the league.
Oh, absolutely. I have lots of juices.
And folks, this is 47. Just to be frank, this is 47. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It ain't your game, Sean. It's just not your game.
It's the Tom Glavine episode.
There you go. That is your game.
I have another question to pose to you guys.
Okay.
Similar. Does Pujols get to 700 home runs?
Yeah, they keep lobbing him.
Yeah, facts.
They're going to keep lobbing him until he gets it.
Yeah.
Mind you, the last one he got, I think it was on Saturday. Like, if they're lobbing him, that was not the time to lob him. Like, that was like the game-winning home run.
Yeah.
So that kind of like takes away from the conversation a little bit. But I think if he gets close enough, they're going to start throwing him like some ones.
Yeah. I mean, It's the same like feeling for Aaron Judge. Like, do I think he does? No, because he's fucking 45 years old. No one even knows what his actual birthday is. He came over from Cuba and said he was X years old, but really he was like 10 years older. I don't think he's even Cuban. I apologize. I think he's from the DR. Point is, he's too old to be doing this. But I mean, Derek Jeter had a walk off in his last hit. You know what I mean? Like it's just baseball. Storylines come to pass. He definitely has enough juice to hit one out, and if they're grooving him balls, he's going to do it. I hope he does. Personally, I want him to do it. He deserves it.
I mean, this happened before. I think there was a quote. This is way back when Mickey Mantle hit his 500th home run, and the pitcher said he wanted to be in the history books, and that was the only way he'd get in the history books by throwing that pitch. So,
yeah, no, that's Brown.
They all are.
Amen, brother.
Moving on to some actual news. Andrew Benintendi broke his wrist and is out for, I think, the rest of the year and the postseason. It's a tough blow. As the resident Yankee fan of the podcast, Dan, what do you think of that?
Hey, man, that deadline's just getting better and better. Am I right? Cash is going to be – I mean, he can't control injuries, right? It's not his fault. But it just – man, the Yankees have won so many games, and we're like on such a good pace to have like almost the most wins ever. And they suck at the same time. They're just so bad. This kind of offense is not sustainable in the playoffs. It's not going to work. It's just not going to. When you have like everyone's ace going up against Judge, like he'll get some. He's still one of the better hitters in the planet, but it's just not when you can't put balls in play at all. It's just not going to work in the playoffs, unfortunately.
Can I get in here real quick?
Yeah.
So apparently he had this injury before in college. He's got some like weird doctor in New York City that like knows how to treat this, and they said that they would be able to reevaluate him. So there's a chance he could come back even before the postseason. Do I think that's going to happen? Probably not. But I mean, him being back definitely gives the Yankees better odds. That being said, first round exit.
Yeah. The Yankees offense is pretty bad. But I also don't think how bad they're doing is sustainable either. I think they'll fall somewhere in the middle because there's no way. I mean, the series they played against Tampa Bay, I think Judge accounted for every single RBI or run scored for the Yankees in that series. There was some crazy stat that I saw.
Yeah, it was every run scored since Wednesday.
Yeah.
Until yesterday.
That's just insane.
Yeah.
That's not sustainable for both Judge doing that and also the team just not getting hits because, they're all professionals too. So. But, yeah, they're not exactly peaking for the playoffs, put it that way.
You see IKF homer today.
Really?
Yeah, his second of the year.
To all the fans at home, if you see me looking off. Sorry, Sean. I was just going to say to all the fans at home, if you see me looking off to the side, it's not because I'm not paying attention. I'm currently ordering my dinner. So just please be respectful of that.
What are you getting?
I'm in the mood for a Philly cheesesteak, Sean, but we're nowhere near Philadelphia. If I was home in New York, I'd knock on Justin's door. We'd be on our way to Geno's.
I can't do it again. I was just at Geno's on Saturday.
That's what I'm saying, Sean. I'd be there. I'd be at Geno's.
Now you're making me hungry.
I'm sorry.
By the way, I went to the AA Mets game the other day. Got a Philly cheesesteak there. Honestly, not even bullshitting you. One of the best cheesesteaks I've ever had in my life.
It can't be hard to perfect. It's like steakums on bread.
Yeah.
With cheese.
Well, but the guy, what also added to was the service. The guy was like giving me free samples of stuff. He was just a real good guy, and I think that improved the score, a certain degree.
Oh, of course. I mean, Sean, service with all food, service always does something to you. I forget where I was the other day. Had just some crazy good service where I was like, this is great. Where was I? I'll try and think of it, but I also have a minor league baseball game story for later in the pod.
I was at Pat's on Saturday, and before I even finished ordering my food, it was ready right in front of me, and he basically gave me one of those eyes like, yeah, get out of here, kid.
Yeah.
Because I ordered 2 cheesesteaks and 1 steak, and he goes $41, which is outrageous.
No, of course.
Pull out my wallet. I hand the man the money, and as I'm handing him the money with my right hand, the left hand, he shoves into me 3 different steaks, and that was it. If you want to diet, you got to go to the other window. I mean, I don't really like the professionalism there.
Yeah.
The fries are also at that window, right?
Yeah, at the other window. We were at
Yeah.
Pat's.
Oh, you're at Pat's, King.
Yeah.
Never again.
Yeah. I was never a fan of Pat's.
I've never been to either.
Oh, you got to go, Sean.
10th inning pod field trip.
We'll take you to Ishka-Bibby's. We'll take you everywhere.
Oh, the Bibs. That's the best one.
Yeah, you go Bibs number 1?
Yeah, Bibs and King. What is it called? It's not King of Steaks.
Pat's King of Steaks. That's
That's what
Pat's.
it is. Yeah. Those
Yeah,
are
no,
my favorite.
I mean, it's traditional, but I'm Geno's all the way. Geno's does it right.
I could see it.
I'm sorry, Sean. We have to derail the podcast at least 5 times. So
No, it's all good. I'm getting hungry again, so I appreciate that. I love food. So
trying to get this order in before it closes.
Dan, you're gonna like this one. The Dodgers, their number to clinch the AL West or NL West is single digits. I think it's 8 or 9 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about that.
We're here, baby. We're here. We're ready. Pitching is obviously banged up, but listen, we've been there before. I think experience plays a big role in the playoffs, and there's no one more experienced over the last couple of years than the Dodgers, so I think we're good.
Now, what do you think of that 3-game series they played with the Mets? Like, obviously, the Mets had 2 out of 3, but every one of those games went down to the wire and could have won either way.
Well, I mean, first thing I want to say is fun series to watch, right?
Yeah.
Just for baseball in general, the sport. If those two teams face off in the playoffs, I think that's going to be great for the sport. I think both of us as fans of the teams can say that. I know I'm willing. Liam, a Mets fan, one of our Mets fans that's in LA right now. I'm going to fly out to LA if they play a series and we'll go to a game together. So that'd be fucking crazy.
Awesome.
No, but a really tightly contested game. I'd love to see Kershaw come back. Obviously, completely lost his control in the first inning. I don't know if you saw that. Walked in a run.
Yeah.
Has never done that in his life.
First time since 2015.
And then he got it back, struck out 6, and was fine after that through 5. Just giving up the 1 run.
Like 13 in a row or some crazy stat.
Yeah, he walked like what was it, 2 or 3 in a row basically, or 3 but 3 in the first inning. So it was. But he settled down. Yeah, it should be a good series. I really think I'm hoping that we get that series in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think you definitely should.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it happening any other way.
Well, that goes into the next topic. The NL East is neck and neck, a 1-game lead for the Mets over the Braves. And you want to win the division because if not, you're going to be playing the wild card against I think the first wild card would be playing San Diego, I believe. Or sorry, not San Diego, Philadelphia.
Yeah, probably Philly.
Yeah, it was
Poverty.
you'd rather play, an easier opponent first time through, but it's not looking good. Not looking good for the Mets. I know we're supposed to be unbiased and all, but I'm a little concerned. I'm a little concerned.
Hey, there's nothing like the Mets than blowing a divisional lead and losing the first round of the playoffs, right? I mean, you had to. This is coming,
To be fair, when we make the playoffs, we usually go deep, but the issue is making the playoffs for us. I mean, we're going to make it this year. Maybe I shouldn't have just said that. But
Daniel Murphy ain't saving you this year, Sean.
We got Jeff McNeil.
That's I agree to that. Jeffrey's the new Daniel. I like that.
Yeah, no, but out of all the divisional races right now, this and the AL Central is the closest.
Yeah.
Speaking of the AL Central, that is an absolute shit show. Between the fact that the White Sox are still in the race, considering everything that's happened to them this year.
Yeah.
And they're actually playing a little better since Tony La Russa just disappeared for a little while.
Was it like a health concern? What happened to him?
I think it's a health concern, but they didn't, I don't think, disclose what the issue is.
Yeah.
But,
what I think happened is Tony La Russa died of natural causes, and the White Sox PR truth does not know what to do with it because it's crazy to have signed a manager that could have died of natural causes. It would be like if Joey B died tomorrow, and we'd be like, honestly, I don't know what to say because like you guys elected someone ready to pass away. And by the way, I'm not saying any political bias, whether I voted for Joey B or Trump, doesn't matter whatsoever. I'm just saying as far as we got someone in charge that is ready to go. We're talking go of Natty. Like if Tony or Joe died tomorrow, it would be Natty causes. Even if they
Yeah.
died of something, they're old enough where they would call it natty causes, which is buck. Thank you.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And the AL Central that really just got us, off the rails here. Tony La Russa, big friend of the pod, and apparently Joey B. But yeah, no, that's a good race. That's a good race. I don't know how else to come back from that one on that topic.
You can't.
I guess you got to come down to Guardians and Twins. What do you see taking it?
I hope the Twins take it.
Yeah, I think the Guardians will end up taking it.
I think so too.
I don't. The Twins always find a way. They're much like the Mets. They find a way to screw it up.
I'd like to see Gary in the postseason.
Yeah, I hope the
How
Twins
about
make it.
Gary?
Gary
Not
was
just that.
berserk tonight. Oh my god!
How about Gary almost getting hit in the face by a baseball bat? And the guy was swinging
Oh,
right in
so
front of him.
close.
He
So
was
close.
walking straight towards him. I don't know what he expected, but
He would have come out of that speaking English. But I mean, Gary came back to Yankee Stadium tonight and hit a 2-run homer. He had a great game.
yeah.
Only Gary could literally walk to an on-deck circle where all they do is swing a bat and not realize they're swinging a bat. That's
And then
That's
look at
Gary.
the other guy like he did something wrong.
yeah.
All he knows is baseball.
The reason I say I hope the Twins do it is just because the Cleveland Guardians continually try not to win and they continually win, and it's just aggravating. Like, they just don't deserve it. The players do. Like J-Ram, they didn't do anything wrong. It's just like for the ownership to continue to win divisions while also continuing to sell all their good players is it's wild. It's wild how good they are.
Can we talk about Zach Plesac? Anybody
Yeah.
hear what happened to him?
I didn't.
He got really pissed off and punched the mound, broke his hand.
Yep. This just keeps happening with athletes. I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on here.
That's something else.
So that's definitely. I mean, I think they have a great starting pitching roster there.
Yeah.
I guess without Plesac, it's a little bit worse, and Shane without the old stick. So,
Yeah.
I mean, they're still playing really well. I have a lot of faith in Tristan McKenzie. I did in Plesac. Bieber's looking good again. I don't know, and they got good bats too.
Yeah, they do. I'm a big T-Mac guy. I love Tristan McKenzie. I've been on Tristan McKenzie for 2 or 3 years now. Actually, his card is in my big case of cards, his rookie auto. I actually traded Tristan McKenzie to Sean this past offseason. He's really blossomed this year.
Yeah.
So,
I think still
congratulations.
second to last in the league, but
Hey, listen, but
we're rebuilding.
we're rebuilding. There you go. Any other league news today, Sean? What do we got?
I do have some league news.
Okay.
Spencer Strider. I didn't want to put him as my pitcher of the week, not because he's a Brave, but because there was a guy yesterday or 2 days ago, who I think deserves it as well. Got a shout out the performance. Rookie record for the Braves: 16 strikeouts, 8 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs. The guy's shoving. Him and Max Fried are really a two-headed monster at the top of the Braves rotation.
Yeah.
Really likes to. He has some swag to him. He called out the Mets for getting lucky on hits on the games that we went to. Bothered some people, but he backed it up the next time against the Mets and shoved it. And I think won 6 innings, maybe 1 or 2 runs against them.
Yeah.
So he can walk the walk and he can talk the talk. I think I got that mixed up, but we're just gonna keep going.
I love it.
Mustache.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he had a hell of a week, and the only reason I didn't put him at pitcher of the week is just because I think that I didn't want to give the Braves too much love. It's just
I
what it
hear
comes
you.
down to.
I'm not even going to say anything on the matter. I think you said all that needs to be said, but I do agree. Strider has been pretty filthy this year.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the
That's
AL
all I have for
wild card?
What'd you say?
The AL wild card spots. Right now, it's Blue Jays and Rays. You think it stays that way?
I
The
don't think
Mariners
the
have won, right?
Orioles.
It goes Rays are 1, Blue Jays are 2.
The Mariners are 3.
Oh wait, yeah, I forgot about
Mariners, Rays 1, Mariners 2, Blue Jays 3.
that. That's how it went.
Well, Blue
Yeah.
Jays are playing a series against the Orioles this week, right? This weekend.
I was there. It was awful. It was
Oh, yeah.
so bad. And then they lost 2 to the Blue Jays today in a doubleheader.
Yeah, they might be done.
I I think it pretty much stays the way it stays, except I think Toronto will take the top spot and Seattle will finish second. I think Toronto and Tampa will flip. Other than that, it stays the same.
That's my tote.
It's a nice bag.
Paid $60 to watch 5 runs against in a tote bag. But, oh my God, I don't think I've ever seen a worse baseball game. It's worse when you're there, but it was terrible.
I'm sorry. I am.
What was
Mullins
the final
almost
score?
5-0. Yeah, it looked really good in the beginning. We had 2 guys on. I don't even really remember what happened. Gunnar Henderson looks phenomenal. Today he sucked, like worse than I've ever seen somebody suck. He looked like IKF. But I mean, he's showing some good signs, I think.
Yeah, he should be good long term. I mean, this year it's tough when you first come up, obviously, but the next couple of years they're going to be good with Adley and Gunnar and the rest of the guys.
Yeah.
What about Bo Bichette hitting 3 home runs?
Yeah, that's another one. That was something.
That is certainly something. I have nothing to say about Bo Bichette hitting 3 home runs. He's been a
The
pretty
man
big
will
disappointment.
swing at anything, and it just somehow works out for him. He's just never stopped swinging.
No,
Yeah.
he swings at literally everything. Yeah,
Like a Javi Baez type.
he is, and he's really underperformed this year. Well, not underperformed, but he's really regressed because of that. Pitchers are taking advantage of it.
Less
No,
walks.
not the Orioles.
Fair enough. That's all I have for league news for the week.
Okay, I'll take over here for a second then, Shawnee. Are you ready for the segment everyone waits for? You ready, Sean?
Always ready.
Big stats for the week. Okay, and obviously last week we disappointed the fans, right? We went over in men's softball, okay? And it didn't go well. Sean, I will tell you the first thing I'll say is the streak went to 6. We started the season out 0 for 6, folks, okay? Which is not great. However, in that first game on Tuesday this week, we got a little base knock into the gap in right center, okay? With 2 outs, down 2 runs, and all 3 runs scored with the bases loaded. We had a walk-off hit, Sean. Hot Dog completed 10-run 7th inning to come back. One of the greatest moments in my softball career to break the seal. I had struck out my last at-bat swinging, Sean, swinging. It had gotten so mental. It was really bad. The seal was broken. In that game, I also pitched 7 innings, 3 walks, 2 Ks. So I also did well on the mound, well enough where the coach, Andy, he was really impressed with me. I got moved from, possibly in the rotation, that 3-man rotation. I will say I'm getting the Tuesday start this week. I have moved into the top spot in the rotation through a couple starts, and the whole thing's turned around. Sean, game 2 on Thursday, we went 4 for 4. I haven't gotten out since I broke the seal. Have not gotten out. 7 RBIs, 4 runs on the week, hitting 625.
25.
I want to thank everyone out there, all you guys who stuck with me after last week, because I was really disappointed in everything that had happened. Gave up the loss, completely got blown up in the pitching performance that came in, hadn't gotten a hit yet. And you know what you said to me, Sean? You said, keep pushing. You're right there. They're going to fall. Last 5 at-bats, I'm 5 for 5, and I just had a complete game walk-off win. So I owe it all to you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Moving on to our picks to click from last week. Milwaukee and Baltimore were both 1.5 games out of the wild card spot. Who would be closer to the playoff berth at the end of the week? Sean, you said Milwaukee. I said Baltimore. The answer was Milwaukee. They're 2 games out. Baltimore is now 3.5. So that's a point for you, Sean. Number 2, the Dodgers had the biggest divisional lead at 19.5 games over the Padres. Is the league going to be 20 games or more by the end of the week? Sean, you said no. I said yes. The Padres stayed neck and neck with them. It's 19 games still, Sean. Another point for you. Does this New York thumper 110 RBI come on his 50th thump shot? That was for Aaron Judge. I said no thump. Sean, you said yes, it does. And it did, Sean. 3 for 3. And the last one was Dan's top prospect in all of baseball is getting called up today. That was Corbin Carroll, obviously. How many hits does he get this week? Sean, you said 2. I said 8. He ended with 5, so no points there. Bringing the weekly total to 3-0, Sean. And Sean, you said it last week. You play better from behind. 26-25. You take the lead with a 3-0 week. How do you feel?
I feel pretty good. It's been a long time since I had a lead. I think it was, week 4 or 5 of the season last time I had a lead. But like I said, we play better from behind, so we got to learn how to play from ahead. And the guys are ready for what comes next.
I hope they're not, Sean. I hope you play better from behind. I take the lead back this week. I just can't believe I blew this. This is pretty fucking bad. Okay, you'll get into the picks to click this week, so you'll get a score if you want.
I love that. I'd love to.
How do you feel about going forward, me or Sean? 26-25 through like 16 weeks of the season.
I think Sean stays out a little bit.
Okay, all right.
I appreciate that.
That's a hot week.
That is a
I
hot
don't
week.
like your Orioles pick, but listen, I'll take it.
That is as fair as it gets.
Sometimes you're hot,
Moving on to our hitter highlights for the week. Is there anyone who wants to start us off? I'll do it. I'm going to do it, folks. My hitter highlight this week is Xander Bogaert. This guy had a hell of a week this week. He went 15 for 28, hit 560, only 0.05 points worse than me. Oh, he almost got there, Xander. You almost did, but you're not good enough, unfortunately. I'm also playing men's softball. 9 runs, 5 doubles, a homer, 9 RBIs, and a stolen base. And I kind of wanted to do a little bit of a deep dive on a hitter this week, Sean. As you know, I usually do it on a pitcher, but Xander Bogaert showed me some interesting stuff. So we're going to go into a little bit of a deeper dive on. So Bogaerts, the stats haven't really shown it, but the metrics definitely have started to fall off this year. If we take a look at his career BABIP, it sits at 337. This year, it's at 379. So he's definitely pretty much the luckiest he's ever been in his entire career. It is. The next highest was 372. So he's getting a little lucky, but also when we take a look at his batted ball, metrics, and you look at 2020, you look at 2019 or 2021, I'm sorry, like he's falling off a little bit. It's not drastic. And the amount that he's falling off to me seems just like age regression. Like he's just getting a little bit older. He plays shortstop, a demanding position. This is a guy who also plays like a good amount of games. 155, almost all of them in 2020. He only played 60, 144, 157. Like he plays a good amount of games. The big thing that's really dropped off has been his slugging. His slugging is so much further down. Slugging at 382 this year. He's usually around, as you can see, hit 474 2 years in a row, around that 470 range. So again, that could be an age thing. He just doesn't have the power he used to have. But something interesting to see is he's kind of always outperformed. We talked about this last week with a couple different guys. Expected batting averages. We're looking at here between 250, basically 240 you see there, and 280. And Bogaerts is a guy who hits literally 300 every year. I mean, you see this 309, 288, 300, 295, 317. Other than this year, which I'm sure that was what 2017 is bad. It was probably the worst. No, that's pretty in line. But he's pretty much outperformed his expected stats by a pretty wide margin. Don't know how he does it. I haven't been able to figure out what the commonality between that is. But the point is, I think he's starting to slow down a little bit. The difference, though, with Bogaerts this year, Sean, interesting. What's the big thing about Bogaerts everyone says? Like, he's a good hitter, but what? He can't field for shit.
Yeah.
Defense is awful. We look at 2020, 9th percentile. Absolutely hot garbage. 2021, almost the worst fielder in baseball. 2022, Sean, take a look at that. Bogaerts has been like really, really good at short this year, which is pretty crazy to say. Why I think is happening, I think Trevor Story, who's like a 97th percentile type second baseman, having him as in the middle infield with him has really, really helped out Bogaerts. When you think about the Red Sox, other than Pedroia, between Pedroia and Trevor Story, who's the last stable second baseman they've had? Bogarts has been up the middle kind of by himself or with a bunch of random people. And that's difficult to work with, knowing like where you have it. Obviously, we're not talking about the left side of the infield as well. You know, where like as far as ranging to your left, you have to deal with it. But having a good second baseman like Trevor Story, I think has probably really, really helped calm him down on the defensive side of the ball. So just interesting to see there. Obviously outperforming. He's been outperforming. His slugging is down. I think that's due to age. And Trevor Story, I think, has really helped out his defense. But great week for Xander Bogaerts.
That was definitely a deep dive for.
Yeah, I didn't expect to go that far.
I appreciate it. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry if it was too much, but
No, it was perfect.
All right, Jay or Sean, who's gonna take it?
If you want, I don't want to like embarrass you. I'll go before you because I got a much worse analysis of a player. So I feel like you can like finish it off hot if you like.
All right, go for it. I have faith in you, though. Don't worry.
That was a deep dive. It's not usually that deep. I really went in there.
All right. Well, I'm going with, and he's so slept on, Joey Meneses from the Nationals. I think this guy is absolutely incredible. I think he's been in like the farm system for like 10 years or in the mine. I don't know where he's been, but he's 30 years old. He's on the Nationals this week or in the last 7 days. Played 6 games with 29 at bats. He had 5 runs, 9 hits, 3 doubles. He had a homer, 6 RBI, and a walk. And this is on like the Nationals team. He hit a 3-run walk-off against the A's like only a couple days ago. He got a hit today. I mean, he's playing phenomenal. He slumped a little bit against the Mets, but he's been crazy. And that's all I got.
That was beautiful.
I could go a little bit more in. This season alone, he's had 118 at-bats. He's only played like a little bit of the season. But in those 118 at-bats, he's got 20 runs with 40 hits, 6 doubles, 7 home runs, 16 RBIs, a 939 OPS, and a 339 batting average. He is crazy.
And this is timely because this is the guy that they've been saying, holy shit, maybe we shouldn't have traded Juan Soto. This is a graphic they put up during the Cardinals broadcast. I saw come across my Twitter the other day. Say it isn't Soto. In the game since the deadline, Joey Meneses, we're talking 327, 361, 7 bombs, 15 steaks, and Soto obviously 256, 3 homers, 6 steaks. Obviously, you see that OBP. Soto, 425 almost, which is absolutely insane, by the way, getting on base almost half the time. However,
walk.
That's all he does at this point, unfortunately. I think he has a little bit of that Max Muncy thing, Sean, where like when you get so good at taking pitches, and especially with these pitchers who are more and more trying to throw it out of zone because they want hitters to swing at bad pitches because they have so much movement, and he's so elite at recognizing that movement that he's just taking more than he should. Like he's taking balls right off the plate that he could hit for power. You know what I mean? You can hit balls that are not completely strikes for power or hit them well. And I think he's just getting too complacent with just walking. God bless though. Joey Meneses, that's a great pick.
I just want to update. His OBP is now 371.
That's insane. That is absolutely buck wild. Shawnee, who do you got? Can you top that?
I don't think so. My guy's a little more mainstream. Mr. Pearls himself, Jock Peterson.
Woo!
He had himself a very, very nice week. Let me just find the stats here. Here we are. 17 at bats in where's the game amount of games played here? No, it's not showing me. Yeah, who cares? 17 at bats, 13 RBIs. Not too shabby of a week. 3 home runs. His average was 471. OBP of over 500. Well over 500. 550. 8 Ks. We don't love Ks in this podcast, but he did pretty well. Another, just looking at this, I'm still shocked the fact the Giants did not trade him and held on to him, and are going to lose him to free agency, even though they were losing all these games and really could have actually got a lot for him. There's a lot of teams out there that would have killed for a guy like him, but that's beside the point. I digress. He's having a solid year this year. 269 batting average is actually, higher than what he's pretty much done in his career. He's got 21 home runs, 61 RBIs. Frankly, the home runs are a little lower than I thought they would have been. I guess playing in San Francisco doesn't help, but that they've moved the fences in quite a bit in center and left field over the years, so it's not exactly as pitcher-friendly a park as it used to be. I know he's got the McCovey Cove down the right field line, so he get a little wind off the water there. But frankly, I thought he was having a bit of a more productive year power-wise, but his average is up. So I think that maybe, I don't know if he's doing this on purpose, but the home runs being down with the average being up, there's probably a direct correlation between those two. His RBIs are a little low too, but he's had himself a nice year, and he's going to get himself a nice contract this offseason, I imagine.
I hope so. He's one of those guys that's like, I wish was like, not that he's not an everyday player, but I mean, he's who baseball should be targeting. I know he's not like an all-star technically, but he's borderline all-star type caliber. And the personality on that guy, he's one of the better personalities in baseball. Like, he is who you build around. If you're baseball. And I'm just taking a look at his page real quick, Sean. I'll do a little screen share for you. This year, I mean, look at this. Hard hit, highest of his career, strikeout rate down a little even more. Expected batting average at 280. He's really having one of the better seasons of his career, like as far as like metrics wise. Slugging is the highest, 534. What is his slugging? 522. Okay, so he's slugging decently. He must have a decent amount of doubles, right? I'd imagine. I mean, look at these ranks. He hits the ball so freaking hard. God bless Jock Peterson is really what I want to say.
Yeah. I mean, look what he did last year in the playoffs with the Pearls. I mean, he was on great for like 2-3 months, and he became like a legend in those months. The time is there.
Moving on to our pitcher highlights for the week. Sean, how about you go first? Because me and Jay are going to have the same guy, and you've already teased a little bit who you're going to go with. Who are we going with here?
You haven't.
Dylan Cease.
That's a good pick.
I felt like it was a toss-up, like I said, with him and Strider, but I had to weigh what was a little more impressive. 16 Ks over 8 innings or 8 2/3 of no-hit ball, and I went with that. It was a real shame that he didn't get the no-hitter, but the guy still balled this week. As I said, he had 8 2/3 innings, no-hit ball. He only had one start. He ended up getting the complete games, which is, honestly a bit of an accomplishment to stay in after that, because a lot of times you got a no-hitter or a perfect game going, you give up a hit or a walk, and you kind of just lose your focus, and the guys kind of get, hit around a little bit there. He did, and he stuck in there for the final out. In those 9 innings, he had 7 Ks. He got the win, obviously. And he's had himself a really, really nice year. I'm trying to pull up his right now. I'm having trouble doing that for the season. Just bear with me for one moment.
Yeah, Dylan Cease, I will say, is also on Leif's team. So I had a tough week this week. I feel like I got shafted a little bit this week. Just to be clear.
Yeah, that sounds about right. His stats for the year: 13-6. I know people say wins and losses don't really matter anymore. It's still nice to have 13 wins to 16 losses. It's a good ratio right there. 2.13 ERA. That's fantastic. He has also started 27 games this year, so he's been healthy for the most part. And he really is the ace of that White Sox staff for this season. He's had some decent seasons in the past. He had a 4.0 ERA back in 2020, at 3.91 in 2021. So he's kind of been dropping every year, but this is a massive drop off from last year to this year. He's already got as many wins this year as he had all of last year. And I think, honestly, with Verlander getting hurt, he has a case, maybe not the best case, but a case for the AL Cy Young Award. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, he's a guy who doesn't get talked about enough, I don't think.
I think he could have it. I think it's like him or Sandy.
Yeah.
Well, Sandy's in the NL. Sandy's with Miami. So
Yeah, see, this is the whole new baseball watcher thing that I got going on. I think Sandy's got a good case for the NL.
Sandy definitely has a good case, but yeah, like you said, Justin, Dylan probably has a decent case for the AL as well.
Yeah.
Our pitcher is is from the NL. Me and Justin's pitcher. You want to go first, Jay, and then I'll.
I think you should carry it. I'll add in some.
Okay, all right. Because I got a little bit. I might end up doing a small breakdown. We'll see how I'm feeling. All right. Zach Gallen is our guy, obviously poster child. First off, didn't realize how you spell Zach. Z-A-C. That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing else. No C-H, no K. He just leaves it at the C. I feel like it's a typo. But good on his parents, you know. He is on a 41 1/3 scoreless inning streak. The Diamondbacks club record is 42 innings. So he's closing in on that as long as
Brandon
he gets.
Webb had that.
What'd you say, Sean?
Brandon Webb has that record. Talk about a guy who fell off the map.
I love Brandon Webb. I love Brandon. I played with in whatever it was, 2K, 2K12 or whatever. Brandon Webb on the Wii, filthy. Okay, just in case you're playing 2K12. I played 2K14 mostly in the NBA, but for baseball, 2K12, filthy. Anyway, he went 2-0 this week, 14 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 walks, 14 Ks, basically had the same game each time, each with 2 hits, 1 walk, and 7 Ks. So basically did the exact same thing. Whereas Philly and Milwaukee, obviously no earned runs. I will say, though, I'm not a fan. Never been a fan. No offense to Zach Allen. UNC alum, UNC born and raised. So shout out to him for that. But maybe I think it's because Leif likes him, and especially what he did to me this week, Sean, I'm not a fan. And because I'm not a fan, I'm going to tell you he's overperforming. And I need to, if I'm going to say that, I kind of have to go in. All right.
This has got to be a traumatic bit or a segment of this podcast between Dylan C and Zach Allen,
It's not sitting well with me. As we can see, if we go to last year, he was nowhere near as good. But this year, you can tell he's really taken a step forward. So as always, Sean, when pitchers do better in next season, I like to try and do a breakdown to see what did they change, why are they better? Because people don't just change doing the same thing. That's what insanity is. You got to make a change to have something improve. So let's see where he improved. Taking a look at the expected ERA, it's sitting at 3.35. His real ERA is at 2.42. That's the reason I think he's overperforming, obviously, a little bit. But he's kind of overperformed last year as well. So maybe this guy's overperforming. But a full run, that's pretty steep. I think he's probably going to be around 3 ERA. Obviously, when you're on any streak of 40 innings plus, there's some luck to that as well as skill. So obviously, I think his ERA is a little bit deflated right now. But moving on to what actually changed, he completely revamped his arsenal. So if we take a look at it, he's basically deleted his slider from his arsenal, which is odd because if we notice the last couple of years, sliders have been more and more used, even with people like DeGrom, who has crazy good fastball. Clayton Kershaw's gone almost exclusively slider. A lot of pitchers are moving more towards slider. And instead, he introduced a cutter. It's 3 or 4 miles an hour faster, and he bumped up his curve 20%, up to 20%, up 8%. So we'll take a look quickly. Locations have pretty much stayed the same. Obviously, fastball 48%, curve 20, changeup 16, cutter at 14. No use of the slider or sinker. We bump it back from last year. And we'll see the changeup actually stayed the same, but became his 3rd most used pitch because that curveball went to 20%, hexed the slider off, and that cutter he really started utilizing a lot more. So really it just was a change of arsenal. He just went more towards a curveball and a cutter. The cutter probably played much better off the fastball, especially because he keeps it middle. So he probably runs it to the side, I would imagine, more, as you can see. And then the curveball is probably a better 3rd pitch or 2nd pitch because it's more vertical rather than the horizontal movement that a doubling of a slider and a cutter would give you. But listen, he's had a pretty good improvement this year. So God bless Zach Allen. God bless his family.
You really don't mean that, do you?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I don't know if I can really add to that.
I'm sorry.
I mean, listen, I've only been in this game for, couple months. I was just winning some money. Figured I'd sport a little bit.
And guys, if you ever want, comment down below if you want some money line picks or parlays, because this is the guy to go to. We're talking. He's on a heater right now. Okay, I've never seen a guy win more money. He's like a little tough day today.
Oh, not this month, brother.
No, but you've been sending me these screenshots. We're like,
oh, I know. Well, those are crazy. Did you see my one that I had a couple days ago, like the 6-7 legger with college football?
Yeah, I mean, he's the gambling god right here. Is what I'm trying to tell you. He'll talk himself down, but it's just simply not true. Lastly, our last highlight. I'll give you my minor league highlight of the week. Sean, you're gonna like this name. Have you heard of Warming Bernabel?
I have not.
You know, I like these kids that are 20 years old with funny names. It's my passion. It is the prospects. Warming is 20 years old. He's a shortstop, third baseman. He's the number 8 overall prospect for the Rockies. As we've discussed, I really like this Rockies farm system with Adiel Amador and all the other guys in it. Hit tool. I'll share this with you just so you guys can read it off. It's easier. Obviously, you see the hit tools, 35, 55. Again, for the fans at home, this is what he's currently at. This is what he projects to be at. The scale goes from 20 to 80. So 35, 55 for hit, 35, 50 power, 45, 50 raw power, 40, 40 speed, 30, 50 field, 45 overall future value. But he's a power speed, high average, and high on-base percentage kind of guy. If we take a look at his stats from these last couple of years, 312, 367, and 313, 370. Pretty consistent, right? You can't get much more. There's like 0.05 difference between both 4 stats. And then moving on to homers, this is what you like to see. As they get older, the power starts to come in more. 14 bombs in 91 games this year with 23 bags. 8 caught stealing, but that's also something that he just has to work with as far as like getting better jumps and leads probably. That's more like they're working out better stealing mechanics. 31 walks, Sean, in 91 games. Not great, but Sean, what does that number say? 56 strikeouts in 91 games, Sean? That's the guy who's going to strike out less than 100 times in a season. That is, I'm getting hot here. I'm getting hot in here for that, Sean. That is, for a minor leaguer to have that low of a strikeout rate, you know that's crazy. That is, even Kelnick strikes out 25%. Julio Rodriguez struck out like 20% higher in the minor leagues. 20%. I mean, not 20% higher. So for him to do that is pretty good. Obviously, I'm not comparing him to Julio Rodriguez or Jared Kelnick. He's nowhere near that kind of prospect. I'm just saying it's very impressive to strike out that low. And my last thing, Sean, my hot take. We haven't had a hot take in a while. My hot take in place of that, I went to a minor league game. Okay, yesterday. I finally went to the Charlotte Knights Stadium, the really cool stadium in Charlotte with the buildings in the background. Phenomenal. Did not disappoint. As I'm driving there, I'm like, let's look up the lineups. Guess who's playing? His first game back in a rehab assignment, Wander Franco. I'm like, oh shit, that's dope. I've never got to see him play last year, playing with Durham Bulls right near me. I go to Charlotte, he's playing. And it got me thinking, like, maybe I was right. What did I say before the season started? I was the low man on Franco. I said he's way overrated, way overhyped. 260, 308 in 60 games this year. Hasn't really looked good defensively. Hasn't looked good. He's got 5 homers, 5 steals. Didn't look great in the rehab assignment game either. I'm not a big Wander Franco guy. I'm sure this is the catalyst. He's going to go nuts the rest of his career. But so far, everyone's saying he's like a top 5 shortstop. I had him at 12, 13, Sean. And I'm looking smart right now.
Yeah.
I am.
I also had him pretty low. I don't think I had him that low. But
I'm looking good right now. A lot of the consensus, the fantasy, every like fantasy ranking, like Yahoo, ESPN, like they all had it like top 5, top 3 shortstops. And I just didn't see it. Anyway, enough about me. Do you have a hot take, Sean, for this week or anything like that?
I do a little bit. It's not that hot of a take, but I think that the Tampa Bay Rays cut the Yankees' lead to 2 games. I mean, I guess it is. What's that, 5 right now?
I can check. I'll tell you how hot the take is. It is 5. That's a hot take. That's a hot take.
All right. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling.
I like it. Jay, do you have a little heater on your hands?
If you asked me like 2 or 3 days ago, I was going to say the Orioles were going to take the wild card spot, which you'd be surprised how hot of a take that is if you ever go on Twitter. These people like really just want to see that team lose. I don't necessarily think it's over. It could definitely be over. Losing the 2 to the Rays was the Blue Jays was terrible, but I think there's still a chance.
Okay, I like it.
I also hate IKF.
That's also Brown. Moving on to our last segment here, Sean. Are you ready for picks to click? Jay, are you ready?
You mind if I get one more?
Oh, no, get in there.
Miguel Andujar from the Yankees.
Yeah.
Third best pitcher on the team.
Who are the first 2?
Probably Nestor and Cole.
Man, Cole is a top 3 pitcher on the Yankees.
Nothing. He wasn't even warming up. He was just.
Wasn't that Marwin Gonzalez?
That's who I meant. Not Andujar.
Listen, Andujar's probably 4th, though.
What?
Andujar's probably top 4, though, unfortunately.
We might be able to get Domingo in 3. Andujar is definitely 4. Andujar. What? I can't talk. I'm tired.
No, you're fine. You're fine. We're moving on to our picks to click, folks. Basically, how many position players are better than the Yankees' actual pitchers is probably number 1. Our first question today, Sean. Who will win the Fantrax League? Coach or Zeke?
I'm gonna say Zeke because I don't see Leif's team doing what he did last. I don't see
they're hot.
Allen.
Jay?
Oh, I was going to say I'm going to win next year.
Okay. I'm going to go with Zeke as well, Sean. I think Zeke takes it, and I just can't afford to go down another point. I'm going to be safe there. Jay, did you want to give an answer of coach or you so you can have a tally?
I literally do not know who's on what team. So I'll give you the coach just to offset you guys.
I like that
for this take. But if we could count me winning next year as a point for next year, I'd also like to take that.
Okay. So officially, if you do win next year, you will get a point.
Excellent.
Next one, Shawnee and Jay. There are 5 players right now between 28 and 30 homers. All right, so 28 and 29. How many of them get to 30 by the end of the week? We got Seager at 29, Trout at 29, Arenado at 29, and Buxton and Tellez at 28. How many of those 5 get to 30 by the end of the week?
3.
Jay goes with 3 of the 5.
Trout's getting 1 tonight. Seager's been looking a little better. I don't know. I'd say 3. Buxton, I don't think he got 1 today, but
I like that 3 call. I think it's also 3. Sean, you going 3? If you go 3, I'll change my answer.
I'll say Buxton, Seager, and Trout.
Sean's gonna take 3. What a piece of shit. Has the lead and he won't even defer. Here, this is what you're gonna lose, Sean. You piece of garbage. I'm going 4. Get the bats out. 4. Let's go. Last one. Second last one, actually. Seattle is 9-1. They won their last 7 games, unless they lost today. Hopefully they haven't. Yeah, they're playing the White Sox. They sit at 76 and 58, Shawnee. 80. Do they reach 80 wins this week? They would need 4 wins. They're playing 3 versus Chicago and 3 versus Atlanta. So a tough little stretch. They need 4 wins out of the 6 games to get to 80 wins. Do they do it?
No.
Okay.
I hope they do because I hope the Braves lose, but
I'm going to say yes.
No way.
I don't think there's a good chance, and that's why I usually lose points, but I'm going with yes. And
Also, the White Sox won today, if you wanted to know.
Okay, good. So they got to win 4 of the next 5 for me to even have a shot here. Listen, they're going to do it.
The Braves.
They're going to rattle off wins against the Braves like you've never seen.
I hope they do. I hope you have the point.
The last one, Sean. Today, Nay is picking up my order. Nay looks like a middle-aged Asian man. Looks like a nice fellow. All caps, by the way. Nay could even be initials, or could not be. I don't know. Arriving at 10:35 is the expected arrival. What time do you think my cheesesteak gets delivered at my door?
Now, where are you ordering from? What restaurant?
It is from Hickory Tavern. It's just a local spot.
And what 10:34 you said should be there?
10:35. He's on his way to pick it up right now. I see his car moving.
I'm going to say 10:31. Those are usually upstanding fellows.
Okay.
10:34.
I'm gonna go with 10:42. I think he's a little bit late.
Here's the thing, though. You have a little bit inside scoop on this because you know how far the place is from your apartment. You know?
I actually don't know how far it is. I've never been there in person, but I just know Uber Eats sucks. That's what I know. Sean, you were at 10:35.
10:34.
10:34, and Jay, you're at 10:31.
Yeah, I think he's an upstanding fellow. They usually.
Okay, I'll put comma upstanding fellow. I'll actually go out to meet him, and if he is, Jay will get an additional point if he's also an upstanding fellow.
Now, can you get a picture with him? So like
I'll try and quickly grab him, but I think it's almost illegal to do that to people, without their consent. But if he's an upstanding fellow who'll want to take a selfie with me at 10:35 at night as he delivers my cheesesteak. So, I don't know where his life is at, that he's delivering me a cheesesteak at 10:35. That's pretty tough. That is pretty tough to be at that point. Sean, before we close it out, I'm going to let Jay pick. We'll come on here. All right, Jay. So, do you know that I bought 70,000 baseball cards a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, I've heard. So
what we're doing, we're just going through them slowly. Once we hit episode 70,000, we'll probably be done with it. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to run my finger across here. You tell me when to stop, and we'll just pick the player for the day.
Okay. Stop.
You put the card back in after, or do you have like a already used pile?
No, they're all back in here. If we ever get the same guy twice, Sean, I mean, God bless that.
Gonna be doing this in the nursery.
We got Reggie Jefferson. I mean, Justin, I didn't expect that out of you. Reggie Jefferson, what a pick of the Cleveland. These are the Cleveland Indians, now the Cleveland Guardians.
Let me look this guy up. Reggie Jefferson, not Jackson.
This might be his rookie year, Sean. It looks like he was playing with the Colorado Springs prior to this. He just came up with the Reds and the Indians. Looked like he got traded to the Indians halfway through the year. That is Reggie Jefferson.
9-year career. He played with Cleveland, Seattle, Boston, and a year with Cincinnati. More like actually 5 games with Cincinnati.
10 points on your overall record. How many career home runs did Reggie Jefferson get? I'm going to guess he had about – this doesn't count for me, obviously. I'm going to guess he had –
I have it. I already looked.
Oh, you already did. How many years? 9?
Yeah, 9 seasons.
I don't think he's a big power hitter. I'm going to say he hit about 10 per year, which would put him at 90. That's a lot, though. 63.
Do you want me to give the answer? Do you want Sean to go?
Sean? I already looked.
Okay.
We're 72?
Yeah, his batting average is phenomenal, though.
Okay. I was pretty close with 63. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Okay. What was his career batting average, Day?
300.
This guy hit 300 for his career?
Apparently he went 637 for 21-23.
He didn't play a ton of games, and he only played more than 100 games in a couple of years, I think.
Yeah, 680.
Why is he not getting PT if he's hitting 300 in that era? Because batting average was everything.
I don't know. He had a 300 batting average with 285 runs, 131 doubles, 11 triples, 72 home runs, and 300 RBI. 146 walks, a 349 OBP, and a 474 slugging.
350 OBP, 470. That's not a bad little player there, Sean.
Two
I asked, did
career
I
stolen
pick the best
bases.
guy?
What do you say, Sean?
2 career stolen bases and an 823 OPS.
Not a speedster. Okay.
No, he's a big guy.
Okay. So I'm surprised the power didn't come, I guess. But hey, God bless Reggie Jefferson. I'm glad you're getting some airspace here. You deserve
I
it.
got something else. He was a switch hitter until 1994, and he gave it up.
Which side did he give up?
I don't know. It's a fun fact on Baseball Reference.
Do you believe he just got tired of it?
You
He
just
probably
said,
was
"Ah,
bad
I'm done with it."
inside.
Good for him. Reggie Jefferson, man. I might get an auto card.
Do you think I got the best one so far?
Our first one was what was our first one, Sean?
Brian Downing.
Brian Downing was pretty filthy. We had I'll show you our first guy and then we'll call it a podcast, guys.
Yeah, you
Honestly,
gotta show him the picture.
that's what I'm
He's a
trying.
baseball player.
Oh, is he
Yeah.
phenomenal?
Oh, absolutely.
He had a hell of a card.
Freddie Freeman just hit a 2-run jack.
That's what we like to hear. Although he's on Zeke's team, so whoever picks Zeke. Here's Brian.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Wow.
Yeah. He was really feeling it there.
That's incredible.
But honestly, when he was younger, decent looking guy.
I think he
Kinda
might be a
looks
steroid guy.
Matt Damon almost.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
When do you normally film these? What day of the week?
We try for Sunday. We always fail and then probably go to Monday.
Okay. Do you think both me and you, assuming we're not playing each other, win our fantasy football this week?
All right, that's the last.
I don't know
pick
who
to
I'm
click.
playing because Al's changed it like 4 times. But
That's our last pick to click for this week, Sean. You can get in this. I think I'm gonna win. I also think you're gonna win. I think we both get wins this week.
would it be okay to show my team on the thing here? Just like
Yeah,
my
if you-
name and so I went with Nazi Germany. That's Hitler and Najee Harris both doing the salute. I got Joe Burrow, Dalvin Cook. I got Najee Harris. I got Michael Pittman, T. Higgins. I think I got a great team going on. And I think with Najee Harris as my Fuhrer for the team, I think I'm going to do pretty well this year.
Sean, I need you to just all right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe, like, comment down below. Would you want to be a part of Nazi Germany? Would you be a Nazi? We'll see you next week on episode 48 of the 10th Inning Podcast.
How high up?
What time is it?
10:40.
We need 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Is he not there yet already?
No. Should be here in a second.
You just got to hope he's upstanding.
One can only hope. $10:41.
This could be huge.
Hey, no, you're fine. You're not starting man, man. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Nice day. Yeah.
My first points on the pod. My first points.
10:40.
But here's the thing: you open the door at 10:41.